wouldn't be surprised to see it close out the year at the end of 2021 at 3,000 or higher.
Welcome to the Sacking Stormtrooper channel. I am very excited to be here with Blair Naughty, CEO of Great Thunder Gold Corp. How you doing, Blair?
Terrific. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. I appreciate you being here. I just had a couple quick questions for you to get the ball rolling here.
Sure.
As you are well aware, this has been a very tumultuous year with the silver and gold prices going all over the place because of COVID. And now here in the United States, we just finished up the election, which has been highly contested. Hospitalizations are rising fast. There's talks about another stimulus. So I'm just curious as to your thoughts. Do you think that there's going to be, with this fiscal stimulus, is this going to be a catalyst that's going to send gold above 2000 and beyond?
I'll be the first to admit I'm not an economist. I do a lot of reading. I listen to this. I know quite a few smart people in the area. One of them being Eric Sprott. So I take his predictions quite seriously. I think we're just at the very beginning of a bull market move in gold. I think it was on Sunday. I was looking at a Twitter poll. I think gold was at 1965 or something, and people were saying, you know, is it going to break 2000 this week? Yes or no? And 86% said yes, and I thought, oh, we're doomed. And sure enough, I woke up 6 o'clock Monday morning, rubbing my eyes. I pull up Kitco, rub my eyes again, rub my eyes again.
Yeah,
Down 100 and change. And
yeah.
but you know what? That's just
It's
it's
the nature of the
temporary. It's
beast.
a news-driven panic sell-off. People selling gold and running in. The coronavirus isn't going anywhere for a long time, and the U.S. economy is not, bouncing back anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the gold price is directly, correlates with the U.S. dollar. If the U.S. dollar goes down, the gold price obviously goes up, and there's going to be a lot of U.S. money printed over the next, coming year or two,
Absolutely.
which will dilute the currency, which should drop the currency, which should, cause a rise in gold. So
Yeah.
I fundamentally we're on a path of a strong gold price over the next few years, and I think we're very early in that move. And I think these small little moves of 50, 50, 20, up down, they consolidate for a while, and when they break, they'll go up, hundreds of dollars at one time at one point.
Yeah, and we did see that that pullback, especially when that announcement came out that Pfizer had the
Yeah.
vaccine
Hmm.
um, that was looking to be 90% effective, and so we saw that real big pullback of $100 in a matter of a day. Um,
Well, I mean, just picture that inversely, but with gold instead. So
Correct.
will be a
Yeah.
time when when not so good news will come out, and perhaps everybody's going to be locked down or businesses are closed, etc.
Yep.
There's going to actually be earnings coming out which are not going to impress many people, and I think people kind of got a little used to the coronavirus last year. They accepted it. The stimulus checks came in, all the traders came in, their money flow. Everybody was at home gambling, having fun.
Hmm.
Stocks got pushed up to some lofty levels. And you know what? I mean, the junior gold stocks did very well from April, May, all the way till about September, October. And what I see there now is, everybody in April, May, June, was setting out to raise. They had not. They've been in a drought for 6 years because this cycle, was pretty dead for a long time.
Hmm.
Yeah, then they set out to raise, $1 million, let's say, and the average financing went over by like double or triple. The money was just flowing in, and people were taking cheap money at that time because they had not seen money in so long.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess right now what's happening is that a lot of those companies are now that although that financing's free trading, it's been 4 months. All that cheaper stock now, those stocks have risen two, three, 400%. That's all coming to roost now, and some of it's coming down, and it's kind of flattened the speculative junior gold stocks for the time being until that's absorbed and a new wave of buyers enters, which I would imagine should be shortly with a rising gold and silver price and all the underlying fundamentals. So
Yeah. And the one thing too, there has been, and I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos on YouTube with many different companies and experts talking about gold that's going to probably skyrocket, and they say somewhere upwards of like $3,000 within the next couple of years. And the one thing that I tried to do on my channel is I don't try to make predictions. I'm not in the financial world and educated enough to really take a look at charts and tell everybody where I think gold is going. I believe strongly in owning precious metals, specifically gold. And and I've seen it since the mid 2000s. I purchased my first 4 ounces, 5 ounces of gold in the mid 2000s, and here we are. About 10, 15 years later, it's already doubled in value. I'm bullish on gold. I tell my everybody that watches my channel, I tell them they should own it. But I'm also a little bit more conservative with where I think gold is going. Um,
yeah.
and I'm just kind of curious as to your thoughts. I know you are bullish on gold and that you also strongly believe in it. And I'm just curious as to where do you actually see the price, if you could kind of like throw a dart at the dartboard and actually make a prediction. Do you see it going to like 24, 2,500 in the next couple of years?
Um, I honestly am of the opinion, and again, this is formed by the people that I talk to, of course, and maybe they're biased bullish. But I mean, economists, etc., like Eric's brought, I wouldn't be surprised to see it close out the year at the end of 2021 at 3,000 or higher. So
Wow.
I'm a little more bold, but I have heard a lot of people say 5,000. So I'm not
Um,
not
well,
that bullish. I think if gold's at 5,000, I don't know what the stock market would be doing, but I don't think it'd be good.
no, it wouldn't. It would be an absolute nightmare for sure.
Got to be
Um,
careful what you ask for. So,
I
you know,
know.
you're a junior mining stock. You don't want $5,000 gold quickly because you are still a junior mining stock,
Yeah.
right? You are not gold.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
And let me ask you, and since we're talking about mining now, do you want to share with the viewers, what your business model is for Great Thunder Gold? What
sure.
sets your company apart from some of the others in this space?
Yeah, so I mean, my background, I mean, I started when I was 18 years old, early interest in the junior mining markets, particularly at that time. I was fortunate enough to work with Eric Sprott from the age of 24 till about 29. And really my specialty is sort of putting things together or cleaning up, consolidating old companies, messes, etc. So I would go into a company. This particular one, Great Thunder Gold, was a lithium explorer. Obviously, the junior mining market had been terrible for 5 6 years. No interest in lithium at all. So what I generally do is I get involved to clean up the balance sheets, which I did with Great Thunder Gold. We consolidated the stock and went looking for a good project.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran into Eric Sprott in Miami about a year and a bit ago. And he was telling me about this great opportunity, Wallbridge Mining, and how wonderful it was. And it was at 16 cents. I think, to put it in perspective, it has about 800 million shares out. At that time, I think there was about 500 million shares out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling me that they were hitting on, these holes, giant intercepts, high grade, love that spot. So for me, it was early in the cycle, and decided I phoned up the guys at Great Thunder Gold and told them that we should be looking for land in that area because the best place to find a mine is next to a mine. These are underground volcanoes. They disperse over large spaces. And the company was able to secure early. Well, nobody really knew much about Wallbridge. Some favorable land positions directly tied on to the north
Mm-hmm.
and some to the south as well. So, I mean, I guess the business model is to get into areas before the herd gets in there. Get
Sure.
them, and you have the highest prospective land in the area, I guess, for exploration. So,
And so
uh,
how does that work? Do you have surveyors and I mean I'm completely clueless
well,
on
I
the
mean,
mining industry.
I gotta say, at the very beginning, it's more closeology, really. It's,
Okay.
get as close as you can. So, I mean, that was the first step, and the next step after that was generally it is send people to kick rocks around, take some samples from the surface, etc.
Right.
That's usually what you do. But this particular area and why nobody had really found the mother lode, there's a lot of overburden. There's about 50, 60 feet of overburden, meaning just dirt and stuff before you hit the hard rock. So it was there's not really an ability to take chip and rock samples in that area.
Yeah.
So what we did was we flew an airborne survey. We hired an airplane, which basically takes, for lack of a better thing, an X-ray underneath the Earth, and it defines drill targets, areas of high chargeability. Now, not saying that it's gold. It could be, a bunch of different metals. It could be chalcopyrite. It could be pyrite. It could be anything.
Right.
But the areas of the higher chargeability are the better drill targets. So we just finished that a couple months ago, and we're in the process of booking drillers and going to set out on our inaugural drill program in the area. So
Nice. And
quite excited.
are you also growing by acquisitions?
We acquired 3 different properties in that area,
Okay.
and always and in discussions potentially for more. We're always looking for more land in that area because it's particularly appealing to us. We're already in the area. It's easier to work in an area you're already in.
Sure.
But I mean, every week, every day of every week, I'm on the phone looking for other projects that may add value to the company. We have a wonderful share structure. We only have about 34 million shares out, of which I own about just under 20%, as well as Mr. Sprott and a bunch of other shareholders own in the 7 to 9% range. So I mean, we got a well-held stock.
Yeah.
We have
The
we
important
have
thing
three
for
and a half million dollars cash in the bank. So we have enough, we have enough money to move around and get things done and potentially make other acquisitions uh, if the price is right to de-risk. We're always looking to get into an area cheap and de-risk our share price as well. So
Yeah, and the important thing too that I want to point out, based on what you had just said, how you own 20% of the company. You have a real vested interest in seeing this company continue to grow.
oh, I
Um,
do. I mean, we're just adults basically doing high tech treasure hunting,
yeah,
right? So it's kind of the dream when you're a kid.
absolutely.
We're just so. I
Things you
mean,
have better tools to get the
yeah,
job
we have
done.
tools, yeah.
And
Uh,
let me ask you, how can people who are interested in getting more information, how can they get some more information about Great Thunder Gold Corp?
well, we have the website greatthundergold.com is a great place to start. We have an investor presentation section there that you could read. You could email us at info@greatthundergold.com and somebody will get back to you right away. Yeah, and I
Awesome.
guess numbers on the website as well.
I'll make sure to include the links in the description as well.
Yeah,
That way, all of my viewers will be able to click that and check it out. And then I have another quick question for you before we
sure.
wrap up. We were briefly talking about stacking prior to hopping on
Yeah,
the call.
yeah,
And
which I didn't really know that terminology,
yeah,
and and as I kind of alluded to earlier, if gold goes to $5,000, I'd rather, being a stacker is actually a pretty wise thing to be.
yeah, and that's the thing too. When we hang up, and I post this video, in a couple of days from the recording, on my screen you'll be able to see some of the gold coins that I have. I laid out here. Like I said, I'm a big supporter of gold. I believe in it. I wish I could own a lot more. In fact, some of the
Yeah.
money that you said you had in the bank for your company, if you feel like just sending it my way, feel free.
Well, if we find any gold, I'll make sure to send you a nugget.
That would be awesome. Blair, I really appreciate the time with you and really looking forward to having another call with you down the line.
All right, terrific. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. And I just want to quickly thank these elite channel supporters. And if you haven't become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. Check out these videos. Until next time, long live the Empire.